This is a form of an ad hominem attack where an individual tries to make an argument, and the person trying to respond back to that argument actually questions the person making the argument based on self-interest for that individual. I'll give you an example. If I were to tell an individual that Bitcoin represents a good store of value for long-term investment, that I might get a response with, well, you own Bitcoin, and if we all purchase Bitcoin, the price would go up, and that's just going to make you happy and get you and be to your self-interest. That may very well be true, that I might own Bitcoin, and if the price of Bitcoin goes up, then I might be happy because other people bought it. However, that doesn't address whether Bitcoin itself is a good long-term store of value. The self-interest part of the component is not necessarily it doesn't really defeat the argument. This is something we can sometimes see in situations where individuals have conflict of interest. As a physician or other individuals who are giving talks often have to disclose their conflict of interest. That's something you ought to know about an individual when you're appraising the information they have. But if they do have conflict of interest, that is not a specific and direct reason why you should disregard the information they're providing to you. You need to think about that information critically itself and take everything in mind, particularly what is the argument being made. If my wife were to ask me whether we should spend less money on takeout so that we can save money and eat cooked food at home, I might respond with an attack of, you are trying to control everything in this house, why are you doing this? If I were to respond this way, I am sort of putting a claim on my wife's self-interest that she's really just making this suggestion because she just wants to control everything in the house, not actually addressing whether we should save money by ordering less takeout. And this can be kind of offensive and unfortunate in personal relationships, and we ought to watch ourselves when we're going to make statements like that.